All right, what's going on? One of my clients is under contract for two duplexes right next to each other, and the inspection reports just came in. It's important to get your properties inspected because you never know what you're going to find, even if it passes the eye test. These we actually went under contract without seeing them in person because they are tenant occupied and the sellers were not allowing showings prior to being under contract. So we went for it, and this is going to start off on the WDI report, which is wood destroying insects, carpenter bees, termites, other wood destroying insects. So this is clean, which is great. So yeah, what we look for here, if they had termites or post beetles, others would be carpenter bees. They'll mark it on here, but this was just the fact that they saw wood debris in the crawl space and that it had a high moisture rating. So the way you mitigate the moisture is by doing a vapor barrier. So they quoted out $2,000 for a vapor barrier, moisture barrier. So that's good. What we'll do is we'll take this along with some other items from the inspection sheet and take it to the sellers and work on negotiating. But this is only one step. The inspection report is going to see, like, do we even care to negotiate, or is it just so bad? So let's look at the other one. So that was 620, or that was 622. Okay, looks like this one has a little bit less expensive moisture barrier, maybe because it has one. Let's see. Let's switch over to the inspection reports. So report ready. In Fayetteville, North Carolina area, I like to use Silk Inspections. John Fordenberg, if I'm saying the last name right, but John is great. His team sometimes we work with Drew as well. But let's go one by one. So this is 620, one of the duplexes. All right. So inspectors are meant to find everything possible and inspect everything. You would hope that they would. Now, what our job is as investors, brokers, buyers is to go through and see what's actually concerning. What do we need to get fixed? What is maybe just, normal wear and tear? What is concerning and needs to be negotiable? So this tenant right here in Unit A wasn't home, wasn't letting anyone in. Could be for a host of reasons. At work, out of town, maybe they're moving out, maybe they're getting evicted, and the property management was just not really wanting us to know that necessarily. It's tough. That's real estate. You just got to go for it. So let's go through here. I'll try not to talk too much. Anti-tip device. That's so this doesn't tip forward. Doesn't. I mean, it matters, but it's just a small safety hazard. So this looks like the burners are not turning on. These are very low cost repairs to make. So not a big deal necessarily. Water temperature. He had nothing on there. This spout is concerning because if it breaks off, it can cause a huge leak uncontrollably. So that'll need to get fixed for sure. Inoperable exhaust fan, we'll want that to get replaced. Cabinet hinges also, so there's no damage. The countertop needs to get secured. So these are all mostly small things so far, but certainly important. Nail pops in the ceilings, loose doorknobs. And this is actually more concerning, is that there's a soft spot, and that soft spot's right by the front door. So that could be, thankfully, it doesn't seem like it's from termites or anything, but it does seem as if maybe there's a bad seal at this front door and water has intruded and then softened out the bottom of the subfloor. So that's a concern for two things. Need to fix a subfloor, get that soft spot fixed. Also, second is seal up the door properly. When I was there, the inspector said, he pointed out there's no gutters, so that water is just coming down, and if it doesn't have any diversion with the gutters, this type of thing is going to happen. I looked in this closet because I walked this unit specifically, and there's no light fixture. There was no switch either, so it was just a pull down. This isn't necessarily the hardest thing, but having it be exposed is a risk, especially as a landlord. Need to install smoke detectors, so that's important. Those are required. Mm, Toilet in the bathroom. Maybe it has a failed flapper valve. Need to fix that. Inoperable, painted shut. I wanted to replace these windows anyway, a few of them. If you can see kind of the humidity on here, organic growth. Yeah, I saw this one too. We don't know if that's mold or not, and the contractor can't specifically say. The inspector cannot specifically say because he's not a mold specific inspector, but he can say organic growth, and usually means mold. I didn't like this at all to see that. Does have a meter for each unit because there's unit A, unit B as a duplex, which is good. It has GFCI protection. Good. Okay. The kitchen does not have GFCI protection though, so we'll need to get an electrician over there. This is not great either. So I saw these outlets and I really didn't like them. I think those should be replaced. Has solid grading. But yeah, I saw this too on the back door and the front door. The gaps. We don't like that. It lets bugs in. Humidity gets off. AC goes out. Heat goes out, just depending. And then this on the front, the soffit fascia needs to get fixed. That can allow bugs and different things in, as well as water intrusion. Oh, this is on the deck. Yeah. Don't like that deck. The back door doesn't have a light bulb. A whole bunch of things. Some siding damage. Yeah, a whole bunch of siding damage. This is a tree that's pretty close. Can damage the foundation walls, so we'll want that cut down. Can also damage the roof. Heating and cooling. Let's see. All right, it's got a thermostat. Manufacturer's data plates present. So it has this mini split unit, which actually provides the heating and cooling. It doesn't have central air. These are newer. But the central heating that was previously wired there was removed, probably because it didn't work. And to install these is about $2,500 each. Maybe, even back when the owner installed them, it was less. Present day today, October 2024, it's about 2,500 to 3,000. And if you do a whole unit for each side of central heating, because you need one for A, one for B, you can't keep them the same, that's like minimum 7,000 each, probably more. Lack of refrigerant. This is a concern because we need heat, especially going into wintertime. That's a non-negotiable. Well, we'll negotiate it probably, but as far as providing that for the tenants, non-negotiable. I think the roof's fine. Just has some vegetation. They always note that, and that's the tree that we saw. Okay. No gutters. Exposed nails. No caulking. Yeah, the vapor barrier is important. The dryer vent tube going straight into the crawl space, that's a no-go. It's going to cause all sorts of humidity issues. So There's some organic growth throughout um, due to the moisture. Staining recent exposure to moisture. Let's see what this is. Well, just seeing that, honestly, that's probably from where the outside had some missing, um, the fascia was open. Rain probably got in there, comes straight down the wall, and then hits this. Yeah, conditions because it's so high in moisture. But once you put that vapor barrier, fix the fascia outside where it's exposed, those things should get fixed. Hairline crack. Okay. The thing about this is, unless it's a quarter inch or wider, it's not necessarily the biggest issue. The tree roots causing cracks is not a surprise. And yeah, I mean, there we are. That's exactly so. That's not fun to see. This is take out the tree, prevent any further cracking. Yeah, has some missing fiberglass. You know, we have to cap that because snakes can get in there, things can get in there and plug the lines. Dirt, leaves. This is the hot water heater, and it's closed up. Let's see this leaking water supply line. It has polybutylene piping, which is not fun. This stuff was banned, I think, in 1990 and or 93, something like that. And it's because over time it breaks down. So this is the inspector under the crawl space. Yeah, polybutylene. It's crap. Sometimes it'll last a long time. Sometimes it gives out. But that was 620. Let's go over to 622. And then, yeah, we'll see how much. I mean, nothing is so concerning right now so far. I think all of these things are easy fixes and not too costly. There's certainly things that we can take to the sellers and negotiate with, but I'm not sure. Unless they're not willing to negotiate, then it might be worth backing out. But so far, I don't think it's worth it. Worth to back out. I'll go a little bit quicker on this one. Okay, it goes to one. So seven. So both of those are a little bit low, but you can turn up the water heater. So it's 107. U.S. Department says it should be at 120. You can turn up the water heater to make it hotter. Usually, there's 110, so should be fine. The bathroom tub, okay. No exhaust fan for shower. That can be installed. This one can be replaced. These drawers, okay. I don't like this, but dealt that can also be dealt with. This is like, potential mold spores, organic growth staining. So what we could do here is spray kills, which is a primer slash. It also kills some mold spores and paints over. As long as we have the moisture problem taken care of. Otherwise, the moisture problem is something that will make that continue. That's the root of the problem. Let's see. This one is, of course, we go back here. All right. Here's the video we were trying to watch. Oof. Okay. Glad you found this. It's a little bit sticky because the hinge is loose, but we can fix that hinge. Doors, more gaps, uneven sloping floors. That's a concern. What is that? Floor covering material. Hardwood laminate installed in moisture prone area. Well, sometimes, these are waterproof. I put these in my wet areas, kitchen and bathrooms, because they click in and they can be waterproof. The slide didn't respond. Could be that the light bulb's out. It could be something else. Loose faucet. All right, we'll tighten that up. Not a huge deal. Leaking plumbing assembly. That is not good. That needs to get fixed. And this vanity or whatnot probably needs to get replaced with how that looks. Hot cold reversed. We can swap that. Improper trap design. Yeah, that's not the right P trap. That's just a elbow pipe basically, but that's not a P trap. And the reason you need a P trap is because sometimes then the water can come back. The sewer, it helps keep the gases and the dirty water out versus allowing it to come back. That's not locking up. It's not sitting flush. No GFCI protection. Missing incomplete. Improper screws. Just took them off and took pictures. Electrical. Neutral ground not bonded. I mean, we're going to get an electrician out. We're going to get a plumber out. Doors, condensation stains on the windows. Oh, on the door. Get that fixed. Yeah, that's the back door. Need that fixed. I mean, these things are... Yeah, this is terrible. They put a window, and instead of getting the right size window, what they did was just put plywood instead. That's just so ridiculous. So ridiculous what you see on some of these properties. They have window units. Says no permanent heating, cooling because the central line was removed. Does it have? I think this one also has the mini splits. But anyways, again, the attic ventilation insufficient, causing some organic growth. No firewall between units. All right, let's check out the roof. Debris, exposed, no gutters, same thing. This one also no vapor barrier. This is inappropriate too. It needs to be a vent. They did this. That's the cheap way. Debris throughout crawl space. More organic growth because of the humidity. Temporary support post. This also needs to get fixed from a foundation contractor. Look at that. It's bending. It has the jacks right here, which sometimes the jacks are all right long term, but it needs to be in conjunction. I mean, it's rusted, so it's not totally okay. It needs to be in conjunction with the permanent. That's ridiculous. A cracked joist. Wow, that's really low hanging. We can fix that. That's just not good. That's cracked. Joists hold up the floors. So when the joists break and the subfloor kind of rots out or whatever, that is when you can just fall through the floor. It really does happen. Um, can I make this bigger? Sheesh. We got some wood rot decay. Yeah, I mean, it has some floor renovations, but doesn't seem like it was done very well. We're almost done here. This one again, we fill that with some mortar so it can stop it. When water gets in it, you've seen like in science, that's how cracks form and then rocks start splitting because water just continually goes in it when it rains and things like that. So we fill that and it should stop going apart as long as we address the other things as well that are causing it. Plumbing, a leaking drain pipe. That's not good. Another clean out. And that's just a like a $3 cap, but it's really important. Low hot water temperature. Hot water heater is not accessible. Another active leak, and this isn't from polybutylene, this is from PVC. And it's caused a lot of damage in here. That's gross. It is from polybutylene. That's gray. Oh, look at all that. That's mold. We can call it mold. Probably because that's what it looks like. And that's the end of that. So we're gonna get a plumber. We're gonna get an electrician. Nothing too concerning. Floor joists. Now these things are concerning, but if they don't, if the sellers don't want to negotiate, then that can be fine. What we'll do then is probably not continue with this project. But the next steps, first step is get inspections. Second step is get quotes. Third step is negotiate with sellers. Fourth step is, complete negotiations. Make sure we want to continue through due diligence, which is the period that you have to negotiate additionally and pull out of the contract for any reason and only lose your due diligence deposit. If you've also put earnest money, then it's not necessary to, you want to back out before due diligence period ends, which this property is 21 days. So we're fine. So anyways, if this helped, please give it a like, thumbs up. This is what I do whenever I get inspections. I'll go through them, see what's concerning, pick out what I want to assess further with a specialist, and then get those quotes, take them to the seller and be like, hey, you either need to give us money off, give us seller credits for these, which on an investment property, you're maxed out at 2% of the purchase price. So in this instance, it's actually best to negotiate repair credits. So this is separate from that 2%. It's odd. The 2% could go towards closing costs. It can also go towards repairs. But if you have specific repairs, one way or another, however it works, I've done it before where you can have $10,000 for repairs of XYZ to, you have to name the contractor, the specific scope of work, but that can be given by the seller out of the proceeds of the purchase. So depends on your lender, depends on the situation. On this one, we're going to try to get them a much better deal. And I always tell the sellers, the listing agent, if y'all don't want to negotiate on this, we're okay backing out, because the reality is, I know you want to make the sale. We're already going through the process. We still want to buy the house. And anyone else who comes to buy the house is going to see the same things. And you guys are just going to keep getting prolonged because eventually you're going to have to negotiate and address these issues. And it's best if you just do it with us and let's get this over with on our timeline and, the next 30 days, which are already about 7 days in. So, the next 23 days, 21 days, whatever it ends up being. But I hope this helped. Subscribe if you like to see some more real estate content on investing and brokerage and buying rental properties or even fix and flips. Hope to see you soon. Thanks.